Yeah. You know what it is. You know what it is. It's that victory talk. Yeah. Talking about victory. You could have been anywhere in the world right now. You chose to be with us. I'm just playing. You ain't got money to be anywhere in the world. This is your best option. So I'm going to make sure that it works in your favor. Let's start the show. Oh, yeah. Oh, motherfucking yeah. You know what it is. It's Victory Talk. We do this shit every Tuesday and every Thursday at 7-ish Eastern Standard Time. Live from Miami, Florida. Home of the 2024 Miami NBA champions. I'm calling it. We get Hero back. It's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope. I'll see you there. I'll see you there if you make enough money from listening to this podcast between now and then to afford tickets. I'm gonna see to it that happens. All right, so this is the podcast we talk about how you build your money, your muscle, and your mindset. You know what it is. Listen, it's all about improvement, and we've been improving too. As you can see, I was only about 8 minutes late today, right? We've been averaging 15 minutes late. It's about improvement. You got to improve every week, every day, man. We're going to help you improve too. As always, we got a sponsor. Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by Thot Repellent. Keep the hose off you. Yeah, you know, because when you motherfuckers start balling, shot calling, getting your money, muscle, and mindset right, you're gonna be every bitch's fucking fantasy. All them hoes, they've been waiting for a motherfucker with his money, muscle, and mindset, right? You think that these hoes, when they was little bitches, they was dreaming about fucking with a nigga who was not in shape, who was weak-minded and broke? Nah, man. It's quite the contrary. You're gonna become every bitch's dream. And then you're gonna have baller nigga problems. Right now, you're like, how do I get some bitches? Oh, I want to have sex. I gotta stop masturbating. How do I stop my porn addiction? Dorks. Baller niggas problem is like, God damn, there's too many fucking hoes everywhere I go. Right? That's what Thot Repellent comes in. Easy to apply spray, which keeps the thoughts at bay. They keep them away. We got all your super chats go research and development for Thot Repellent. All right. You know what I'm saying? We got an army of fucking nerds, dorks in the labs, beakers and shit, mixing up the solution to keep the thoughts away from you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep them off you. Now, most of you motherfuckers, that's not your problem. That's not your problem. What's the best pickup line? I don't get girls. Once you really start balling, once you really get your money, muscle, and mindset together and become the perfect man, you'll be the reason all these regular motherfuckers can't get hoes, because they'll be chasing you. They'll be chasing you. That's why we don't even talk about girls, how to get girls on this podcast, because all them pickup niggas are just going to tell you how to pretend to be me, how to trick a hoe into thinking that you me. You know what I'm saying? You can just be more like me. And your fellow ballers. To assist you with that, we put together the Victory Unit Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. Link in the description. Yo, we got tons of free courses in there, free advice. I'm in there every day, dropping gems, dropping jewels. I do live Q&As in there from time to time. I haven't done one in a while, but I'm going to plan one soon, where I just Q&A for Victory Unit members only. It's free. Link in the description. Make sure you get in there. All right. And last but not least, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we got the new Baller Mindset course. It is 100% free. 100% free. Type in the comments if you've been through the course or you started going through the course, and tell these motherfuckers how dope it is. Tell them how fucking badass it is. Listen, we spent a lot of time, Nima and I, we spent a lot of time on that course. About 6 months, right?
Yeah, because it took you actually a couple of months to put it together, structure it, and then 2-3 months to do the production.
Come on, man. Come on. It's better than almost every course you'll buy on making money. Goddamn dorks selling money. Oh, I made money being a dork, saving money. I'm telling you, got a ball shot call, flex on the haters, stunning on the hoes. No matter where you're starting from. No matter where you're starting from. All right. And it's 100% free. And it's a course, it's not by some fucking dork. So it's going to be educational and it's going to be entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Are they leaving comments on it about how dope the shit is?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, man. A lot of people been through it. A lot of people fucking with it. Super heavy.
I'm just going to
been through Baller Mind Chris. Drew P TV. Look at it, man. Come on, man.
Pedro.
Big Pedro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Natty Keto. Come on, man. Join the ranks of the ballers. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to do it. It's free.
Course. Don't sleep. Go through it.
Don't go through it, man. Go through it. Go through it. What's that?
We got more.
All right. Listen, there's something I want to get into today. Something I want to talk about. Something I want to talk about today. It's our segment, our first segment, Real Talk. Yo, that shit is wild distracting. he was fixing some shit. Y'all don't know this is a big production. All right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's got a fucking
crawler.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Listen. All right. In this video, I want to show you guys the 10 books I believe all men should read in their 20s if they want to become successful, if they want to accomplish things, if they have like big dreams and aspirations that they would like to see come to fruition. These are the top 10 books, in my opinion, that will help facilitate those dreams for you. Now, you may be thinking, hey, why should I listen to this guy in a fucking tank top on the internet? Well, over the last few years, I've built several multi-8-figure businesses. And I came from Southside Chicago. Y'all know my story, Southside Chicago. My father blew his brains out. I had to start working 4 jobs, grinding, working for moving companies, working security, fucking personal training. And I went through all of that, and I brought myself out of that struggle and that pit of despair with hard work. And these books were the foundation of the knowledge and the mindset needed to accomplish that. And I went on to coach and mentor a number of other entrepreneurs, actually hundreds of entrepreneurs who have built $1 million businesses, and thousands who have been able to build businesses that they work on full time now. They've been able to quit their job and work on their business full time. They may not be billionaires, but they're doing really well for themselves, above average incomes. And these books actually built the foundation of that work ethic and the knowledge I use to accomplish all of that. And I want to share those with you. All right. So the very first book on the list is a book that's probably, hold on, I just thought about it. Should I do it in order? Okay. No particular order. Should I do countdown? Okay. All right. So I'm sorry, man. There's a lot of people in the room today. It's fucking my brain. Fuck you. All right. All right. So one book I feel like every man should read. It's not the Bible. It looks like the Bible, but it's like the Bible to me. This is a copy that was given to me by a friend a long time ago because she knew how much I enjoyed this book. She knew how much it meant to me. This is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. All right. And this book no. Chill out. All right. Now, this book actually built the foundation of my personality. All right. So a lot of times people will think that in order to impress people or in order to make friends or to be influential, that you need to do things that are impressive, right? So you'll see people, thinking this is all about the jewelry or their image or their possessions or their accomplishments. And sometimes you'll meet these people and they'll lead with that, tell you how fly they are or how much they accomplish. I mean, to be fair, I did start this video off like that. But I mean, when you meet people in person, right, when they do that, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Or people who are always talking about themselves. What Dale Carnegie taught me is you actually want to do the opposite, right? If you want people to find you interesting, if you want people to like you more, is show interest in them, right? So how this panned out in my life was once I learned the teachings in this book, it actually helped me, first of all, in sales. So in the sales context, you don't want to be the person who's like trying to sell them, trying to convince them that your product or service is the best. You want to ask them questions about themselves, about what their needs are, what problems they're trying to solve, and how those problems are affecting them, right? Get real deep and just always asking them about them, just asking questions, right? And then you tell them how. What I like to do is I like to tell them how my product or service, whatever I'm selling, has helped people like them with their same problems accomplish the same goals they're trying to accomplish. And listen, man, I've sold using those techniques, right? And that's how I write all my sales scripts for myself, my students, my team. Using those techniques, I mean, we close. You know what? Should I show them some sales data? I'll show them some sales data. Hold up. You just you wait, motherfucker. Hold on. Okay. Give me a second. This will be up in 1 second. I hadn't planned on showing this. That's why I say. So I'm going to show you sales data from one of my sales teams over. I'll show them July. No, I'll show them. Yeah, I'll show them June. It probably makes more sense. What the fuck? Fuck. I can't show it to them. All right, so we'll skip that part. Something's happened with the data set. All right. Anyway. So using that data, I've been able to build, multi 7-figure businesses that all runs on the back of sales teams, right? And those sales teams use the scripts that, this was the foundation of all the sales scripts, right? One of my really good friends, he's like a dating coach, like Hitch, right? He teaches guys how to meet girls, pick up girls. And he said that this is the best pickup book ever, right? Because when you're talking to a girl, it's more impressive if you're interested in her instead of talking about your job or all your shit. That shit should speak for itself. But if you show interest in her, she'll like you more. And, or just human beings. When you meet somebody, show interest in them instead of trying to show off. And what you'll notice is, man, here's the thing. Ask them questions about themselves. it's actually the key to human relations. Show interest in them, ask them questions about themselves, and be like super interested, and let them talk, let them expand. And this book goes into way more detail on that, but I really think they should teach this book in high schools, because I feel like people would be like better people, more interesting people, and they'd be more successful. How to Win Friends, Influence People, probably the number one book that's changed my life. It was probably the first book that really changed my life. Right. The next book you want to read, and by the way, all these books are in Amazon if you want to buy them, and you should buy them all. All right. The next book is, I lost my physical copy of this, so I'm not going to show it to you, but it is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And there's a lot of takeaways I got from this book. A lot of takeaways. Is definitely life-changing. It's probably the book I've given away to people most. Right? It's probably the book I've given away to people most. And 100% of the people who I've given this book away to and they've read it said it had a tremendous impact on them. Right. And to be clear, do not buy the audiobook. The audiobook is straight up trash. Straight up trash. Is like Tony should be ashamed of himself. It's not even like a translate. I don't know what they were doing there. Stay far away from the audiobook. You got to get the real book. And it's super thick. Pause. So it can be intimidating. But if you read it, it'll have a huge impact on your life. And my main takeaway from Awaken the Giant Within was what Tony called state control. And when he says state, is being able to control your emotional state, being able to control your emotions, having control over your emotions instead of letting the outside world control your emotions. So before I read this book, I just thought shit happens and you had an emotional response, and that was just what it was. I never even considered the fact that you can actually control your own emotions regardless of the circumstances that you find yourself in. It's something I never even fucking considered. But when I read that book, Tony teaches a lot of techniques and strategies on how you can train yourself to feel whatever emotion you want, regardless of the circumstances, within reason. Obviously, somebody fucking dies, you get your arm chopped off or something, you're probably going to feel bad about that, right? But it's not about if you feel bad. It's like, how long do you feel bad about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you take control of your emotions as opposed to letting the world control your emotion? And that's what everybody else does. That's what everybody else does. They let their circumstances, they let other people, they let, situations control their emotions. But if you can control yours, that's so much power. There's so much power there, right? Because people always say, man, I just want to be happy. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I don't care about money. I just want to be happy. Well, you could just be happy now, right? Like if you learn happiness is an emotion. So if you learn to control it, you don't have to make money to be happy. You can be happy and make money. That's what I do. It's dope. For example, I've been in some pretty bad situations and I was able to control my emotions when a lot of people couldn't. For example, I've been arrested a few times. I've never been convicted of a crime. You know what I'm saying? Every time I was apprehended by the authorities, it was a miscarriage of justice and I was exonerated on all charges. But I remember being in the cell, cracking jokes, laughing, chilling. You know what I'm saying? And it's only because I learned how to control my emotions, and how that works in a sales context is, the whole thing about sales and making money. Well, if you want to be good at sales, the number one things you need is to be able to control your emotions, right? I mean, it's the number one thing you need to be able to master, because once you can control your emotions, then you can have an impact on other people's emotions in sales, but also just in life. Like you see this when you ever seen somebody walk in the room and they're all pissed and they change the whole mood of the room. Everybody else's mood changed, or the opposite is true, right? When like a fucking happy child or a puppy runs in a room, everybody lights up. You can choose to be that person that changes the mood everywhere you go. And then what happens? You become magnetic. People want to be around you. You know what I'm saying? People want to attach themselves to you, whatever movement you have going on. All right. So if you're wondering why people don't support you, or maybe you can't get people to follow you, or you can't grow your following online, it's because you're not magnetic, right? You're not magnetic. But if you become magnetic when you have what people want. Sometimes they don't want money. Sometimes they don't even want the things you have. Sometimes they just want that feeling. You know what I'm saying? That like, damn, they want that energy you can give them. But if you can't control your emotions, then you won't even have that to give. Right? Awaken the giant within. It will definitely put you on the right path to controlling your emotions, and then being able to influence the emotions of people around you. That's when it becomes a superpower. Check that book out. The next one we're going for is Relentless by Tim Grover. And I don't have my physical copy, but I checked on Amazon, and I see when I bought this, December 31st, 2015. This book changed my life in so many ways, to the point where I actually got it tattooed on my arm. Yeah. It's because of this book. So prior to reading this book, I used to always hear things from my friends, families, people close to me. Brandon, you work too hard, man. You need to relax. You're going too hard. You're doing too much. You need to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, damn, maybe something's like wrong with me. And I would like take my foot off the gas. Like maybe they're right. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Then I read Relentless by Tim Grover. Tim Grover was the coach. He was the trainer for Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, countless others, champions. And this book is not about training. It's about mindset. Right. And once I read that book, I kind of realized, oh shit, being obsessive about victory, being obsessive about my goal, not only is it okay, it's what's required to hit the kind of goals I want to hit. Like if you just want to be a regular dude doing regular shit until you die, then this book, it's not for you, man. You don't need to read nothing to do that, right? But if you want to be elite, if you want to accomplish things that the majority of the population cannot do, this book is going to definitely help you get on the right path. So after I read it, I was like, it gave me permission to put my foot all the way on the gas, to turn the fucking intensity knob to 11, rip the knob off, and never look back. And I just felt vindicated, and I felt free to just go super, super hard. And then after that, I started making way more money than I ever did, because I didn't have any of these. I had nothing hold me back. Like all my friends and family, I remember, oh, you motherfuckers are just wrong. You're just wrong. And that made itself a lot more evident as time passed. Fucking lapping these niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I realized this whole enjoying life thing, when they were talking about enjoying life, they were talking about escapism, right? They were talking about hedonism. They were talking about, going out, vacations, getting high, doing drugs, fucking random people, all this other shit, all hedonism, right? Vices, for the most part, vices or like hedonistic shit. That's the only way they could enjoy life, because they hated their fucking jobs. They hated what they did. So they had to escape from that reality. But what they didn't understand is that some people like me, we enjoy life by pushing ourselves, seeing how fucking much we can accomplish, seeing what we're made of, testing our limits, trying to fulfill our potential. That's the way we enjoy life. And they just couldn't relate to it. And they need to. They didn't need to, man. We need regular people to do regular shit. Listen, somebody got to drive the Ubers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to fucking spell my name wrong at Starbucks, man. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's not. If it's not, Relentless, Tim Grover. I mean, this book, it's had such an impact on me that I fucking tattooed it on my arm. So every time somebody's saying, yeah, you work too much, you need to relax, I just like, this bitch don't know nothing about victory. This hoe don't know nothing about success. All right. Next book you need to read is, it's a good one. Courage by Osho. Osho was like an Indian philosopher, spiritual guru motherfucker, right? He also had, no bullshit, 93 Rolls Royces. He was working on getting 365 so he could drive a different Rolls Royce every day. And I was like, if I got to follow one of these, if there's a spiritual guru who I identify with, it's the fucking balling ass one, you know? Osho was a G. Osho was a G. And this book is my favorite by him. I read a number of them. But with this book, he talks about courage. And the reason I think that would be so important for most of you guys is because the majority of you are what's the word I'm looking for? Bitches. Hoes. You motherfucking scared and shit. Like, you motherfuckers be scared of everything. I hear so, I'm scared to do this. What if it doesn't work? What if this happens? What if, you're scared to talk to a girl? What if she doesn't like me? What if this? What do people think? Oh, I coach, like, I help people build their online fitness businesses in one of my business. And sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I'm just worried to post, man. What if I post this? Or what if I do this? I'm gonna come out like, you motherfuckers are scared of everything. Fucking hoes. And here's the thing. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with being scared, right? Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. In fact, you need fear to be courageous, right? You can't have courage without fear. If you're not scared, then you just do it, right? Like if I do something simple, like, okay, let's say someone like Michael Phelps, he has to swim from here to South Beach. Listen, I don't know how swimming works, but I think that's something Michael Phelps can do. Let's just say he's the one of the best swimmers ever. It wouldn't even take like courage for him to do it. He just, oh yeah, I fucking do this. Yeah, no problem, man. I just go over there. If I do it, it actually takes courage, right? You know what I'm saying? I can swim, but not like well, So like for me, it's like, oh fuck. All right, let's go, But Michael Phelps doesn't take courage because he has skill, right? So you know what I'm saying? So you guys, sometimes you ask me, or I hear you say, man, I just all this fear stopping you. How do I get past this fear? Or how do I get rid of this fear? You don't. You don't even need to. You just need to not be a bitch, right? You need to be courageous, right? In fact, I think that that's more noble, right? If you have to overcome something to accomplish it, that's actually more noble. And this is not about getting rid of fear. It's about embracing it and looking at it as the challenge and knowing that it's more noble to face the fear as opposed to shrinking from it. And here's the thing about it. How do you become more courageous? You do it. It's like a muscle. So anytime you do anything, you build what's called a neural pathway in your brain, right? And you could actually see it, and the more you do the same thing, the deeper that neural pathway goes. So it becomes easier for you to do that thing over and over again, right? This is how, like, when you see a fucking baby learning to walk, baby's strong enough to walk, but it doesn't have the motor skills because it hasn't done it. So the first few times it's falling all over the place, like fucking falls a million times, embarrassing everybody. And then tripping and shit, making a fool of himself, right? But then he starts to get it. Oh shit, damn, I got to put this one. All right, I balance on this leg and then put the other leg in front and put it down. And he starts to get it with repetition, right? And then next thing you know, this motherfucker's running all around, doing other shit at the same time, throwing shit, everything, right? Because it's not that he didn't have to develop the strength. He had to build the neural pathways where he learned the motor skills involved. I digress. Courage is the same thing. So every time you come up against something that you're scared to do, face it, right? And it'll get easier to do that each time until that becomes your default response. I'm scared of that. All right, let's go. Right? You do it anyway. You get what I'm saying? And that's how you become not fearless, but more courageous. I hope this is making sense. Now, what you also need to understand is the opposite is true. Every time you come up against something you fear and you don't do it, you cower, or you build neural pathways of a bitch, and these bitch neural pathways get stronger and stronger every time. It becomes easier for you to be a bitch the next time you're faced with a situation where you need to become courageous, and you cower, you become a bitch. You build these bitch neural pathways so they get so strong that being a bitch is your default response. And that's what a lot of you motherfuckers call life. You know what I'm saying? It's just a series of bitch responses to circumstances. And you're to blame for that. However, it's not too late. This book will set you on the right path, my friend. Courage by Osho. And listen, the man had 93 Rolls Royces. I think that means we should take what he says into account. All right. Next book. Next book we got is the 48 Laws of Power by the homie Robert Greene. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Robert. I've interviewed him on this YouTube page before, like a few years ago. He's every time he drops a new book, I'll put it somewhere, you know. But every time he writes a new book, he sends me an autographed copy. But this is the version of power you should get, because Robert's my man. That's my dog. But you know, Rob's books are a little long-winded, especially for you dummies, right? I know you're not going to sit through a book of that size. Right. This is like the Cliff Notes, the condensed version. I put the link to this version in the description. This gets to the fucking point. Right. This gets to the point. But this is a book that is super powerful. It'll help you get a lot of leverage. It's almost like the opposite of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, but it's good to have this knowledge as well. And it got to the point where I tell you how much I like this book. I only do this on a few books. But I made flashcards for each of the 48 Laws of Powers so I can memorize them. You know what I'm saying? This book is super insightful in life. And I've talked about this book before in other videos. Maybe we'll post those somewhere around here too. But this book is super powerful. Get the condensed version. Unless you like a fucking trillion stories to prove a point. Me, I don't like that shit. I just give me the facts. And this is like way better. It's super thin, pocket size. You can get through it in a few reads, and it's information you gotta have. You gotta have it to really rise the ranks in life. All right. The next book is Principles by Ray Dalio. Don't show my thing yet. Nah, don't show. All right. Principles by Ray Dalio. Again, I lost my physical copy. However, do have this other version of it. Don't get this version. It's like a comic book. I think this is for children, but I bought this. You know, my son's he's too young to read it now. Once he gets a little older, I'm gonna go through this one with him. So I just got this on ice for my son, but you should get the fucking man version of it, not the comic book. But Principles by Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio has a net worth of $19 billion, billion with a B. Right. He started and was the chief investor of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Capital. And I read a bunch of books by Ray. You know what I'm saying? Ray's the man. But Principles, it might be, I mean, it's up there. I think all you guys should read it. And it's really about, if I had to sum it up, Principles is kind of two parts. One is the principles that Ray uses to make decisions that he used to guide his decision-making ability throughout life. And a lot of it was based off a lot of big mistakes he had, big public mistakes that cost him billions of dollars, right? But he learned from those mistakes, right? And he documented the principles that he learned from it. And so next time he came up with those next time he encountered those similar situations, Ray called it, another one of those, right? And he had almost like a manual that he wrote for himself and for his company on how to handle these situations. So now when these things come, it's like, he knows how to deal with it. And this is how he built the world's largest hedge fund and a net worth of just under $20 billion. The second part of the book is about how you can create your own principles for your own life, right? So you can also almost making like a SOP or a manual for yourself, because typically we keep running into similar situations throughout our life. And if you don't learn from them, then they'll keep knocking you off track and knocking you down. But if you learn from them, you know how to maneuver in those situations, then that's how you succeed, right? Because if you keep running into these things that slow you down, stop you, prevent you from hitting your goals, then how do you ever hit them, right? But if you if you can recognize the patterns and then come up and have a strategy for when these things happen, then you'll know exactly what to do in those situations. And then you'll advance a lot quicker. I'm not doing the fucking best job explaining this book, right? You should fucking read it. Principles by Ray Dalio. It had a huge, tremendous impact on me in my life. Right. Next book. Way of the Superior Man. This is by David Diega. And it would be difficult for me to put this into words, but this is a book that's really going to help you understand and maneuver in relationships, especially as they pertain to dealing with women. And it's not like some pickup shit. It's not like some other shit. It's about how to handle those situations like a G, right? How to handle it like a G and stay on your purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult for me to put this in words. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you should all read it, especially if you have any fucking women problems in your life, or if you want to make sure even if you don't have women problems, or if you don't have relationship problems, if you read this book, it will help you navigate your relationships a lot better. It's a book that I turn to every time I feel myself, or I feel like a relationship that I'm in is moving into turmoil. You know what I'm saying? It's a really good book, really solid book. Because remember, there's 4 areas of life, there's 4 quadrants, right? There's your health, there's money, there's romantic relationships, and then there's like family. Those are like the main quadrant. Those are the main 4 quadrants. And if any one of those is like fucked up, then it's gonna slow your progress, right? You have to make sure all of them are strong. And that's the only book that I really recommend on strengthening that quadrant. All right. Then, do I have it over here? Oh, here we go. The next book. This is a book that's near and dear to my heart. I read this book once a month. I either read it or listen to the audiobook once a month. Swear to God, every month. And I was actually reluctant to tell people that I read this once a month because I didn't want the ops to hear that and get, start getting the same jewels I've been getting. I thought it was like my strategic advantage, but these motherfuckers is lazy and they can't really compete with me. And just because you like read the Bible don't mean you're competing with Jesus, right? So I use that word compete very loosely. This book is called Influence by Robert Cialdini. I'm telling you, if you are in business or you run a business or you want to run a business, you should read this book or listen to the audio once a month. It's not a book you're going to read once and understand it. I swear to God, every time I read it, I understand it better, or I get something out of it that I missed the first 100 times. Like, this is a book that should be read over and 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 over again. I cannot stress to you how important this is. I can't stress to you. It'd be difficult for me to overstate how much this book has impacted my success as an entrepreneur. It's like a manual. It's like the manual for marketing, sales, and influence, right? It helped me build my social media, right? It's helped me build my businesses, the marketing campaigns we do, I'm nothing without this. Without this book, I'm you. I'm telling you, man, I can't stress enough. If you do not follow the principles in this book, if you don't read this often, at least a few times a year, there's no way you're going to, okay, I don't want to say there's no way, right? You'll be putting yourself at a strategic disadvantage. I'm telling you, this book I cannot overstate how important this book is, all right, to me in my career. Influence. Because think about business. All business is selling a product or service for more than it costs you to deliver that product or service. That's it. The game is pretty simple, right? But how do you sell it, right? You have to market it, and you have to sell. Somebody has to buy it, and you can't force them to buy it, right? You got to convince them to buy it, right? You got to influence them. That's what this book is all about. Influencing people, right? And just making money in general. You can't make money. People have to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? And you have to convince them to give it to you. So even if your product is really good, even if it's the shit, if you don't know how to influence people, nobody will know how good your shit is. On the flip side, if your product's bad and you do know how to influence people and people do buy it, well, then you'll just show a lot of people how fucking much you suck. Right. So so I'm assuming you have a good product or service, right? When you have that, read it, memorize it, read it over and over again. I can't stress it enough. Next book. Gotta grab it off the mantle. Deep Work by Cal Newport. This book, when I read this book, my income started to skyrocket. And I have an interview with Carl. I think we posted that in the Victory Unit Discord. If we didn't, we need to tell Harry. Yeah, but we never posted it on YouTube. I don't remember why. But this book, like, just really changed things for me. It just changed things for me. You know, the premise of this book is the way most people work is kind of bullshit, right? They're kind of distracted all day. They're trying to do multiple things at once. They're multitasking. But the real power comes. The real power comes is when you can cut off distractions and really focus on one project. And the longer you can do that, the more powerful you will become, more you can accomplish, and the bigger tasks you can take on, right? So when I'm building my business, like, especially in the beginning, when I first started, like, you know, I had to build the websites. I had to actually build the websites. I was fucking doing HTML and shit. You know, I was writing the ad copy. I was building the funnels and making the products and all that. It's like that kind of work, that kind of knowledge work, you have to be like super focused. You can't do that shit with the TV on and hella distracted. You know, you got to be super focused. And this book goes into detail on how you can accomplish it. And the beauty of that is once you can access that level of deep work, you can get more done in less time, right? You can get more done in less time. And if you do that, then you have more time to either work more to make more money, or you spend that time with your friends, family, loved ones, right? You get more done in less time. I promise you, you read this book and apply it, you will accomplish way more in a year than most people can accomplish in 5. That is not exaggeration, right? The last book, I don't have a physical copy. Oh, hold on. Let me see something. Yeah. Sorry. Do I have this? All right, never mind. My last book, I don't have a physical copy because I read it when I was actually 19, and it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. All right. And the main premise of this book is kind of how I structured my financial life. And once I learned this, it really changed things. So Kiyosaki said that poor people or regular motherfuckers, right? What they do is they work for income and then they spend that, let me draw it out. I think that'll make more sense. All right. So Kiyosaki said that regular people, what they do is they work for income, right? Boom. And then they make some money. What the fuck? Sorry. They work for money. They work for money, right? And then they spend that money, obviously on their basic needs, but then they spend the rest on like luxuries. So this is what they spend to go on vacations, or this is what they use to buy their car, or, you know what I'm saying? If you're from the hood, this is what you use to fucking buy your Gucci belt and shit, And the problem is that kind of keeps you broke. It's difficult to advance with that structure. But what he said, he had two dads, like a rich dad and a poor dad. And his poor dad did that. His rich dad, what he did was he worked, right? Then he worked for money, but he spent that money on assets. Boom. And then those assets paid for luxuries. But the beauty of the assets is the assets keep making money without work. You know what I'm saying? They keep making money without additional work. So you'll see this. Sometimes you'll see somebody with their own business even, and they're still doing this. Because even if you have your own business, yeah, you're working for yourself. Yeah, you're working for yourself. Sorry. Fuck. Yeah, you're working for yourself, but it's still work, right? And a lot of times these businesses, especially if you're somebody like if you're a barber or even a doctor, right? Unless you have your own practice, if you're a doctor and you're not fucking operating on people, you don't get money, right? You still have to work for the income. You just may make more, right? But if you ever stop working for that income, the fucking income stops. But if you put that money into an asset, right, that pumps out money on its own, this can be stocks, like dividends from a stock portfolio, right? That just makes money no matter what you do. This could be real estate. Right. If you own some real estate, you have somebody else managing it, and after you use the rent to pay the mortgage and pay off the property manager, and whatever you have left, you use to pay for your luxuries, right? That will keep making money for you indefinitely. You get what I'm saying? And then the rich people just keep doing this until they and his rich dad kept doing this, kept getting more assets, kept investing in assets, right? Kept investing in assets. The assets grew, income grew. And then, but here's the thing, the income would keep growing to the point where he didn't have to work anymore. And he was still balling on his fucking poor dad, balling hard on his poor dad, to the point where this guy wrote a whole book praising his rich dad and basically clowning his poor dad, his biological dad. And it became a bestseller, right? Because when this motherfucker stopped working, the money stopped. This motherfucker stopped working, the money keeps going indefinitely, right? And that's what you want to, that's really what you want to really come up, I go into way more in depth on that in the Baller Mindset course, where I really took it to the next level and explained it in a different way than Robert explained it, with also more step-by-step, with more step-by-step instructions. And it's free, 100% free, no charge or anything. But read the book too. Like this book, a lot of those philosophies were based off this, right? Those are the top 10 books I think every man should read in their 20s. If you read them and apply the information in there, there's no doubt in my mind that that by the time you're in your 30s, you'll be balling super hard. And if you're in your 30s, well, you need to fucking read those as soon as possible. What are you doing? Why are you still watching YouTube videos, man? Like fucking read this shit. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be my age and fucking broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm 40. But I read this shit in my late teens and 20s. Look at me, man. Do I need to convince you anymore? Do I need to convince you anymore? Read the books. Links are in the description. All right. It's almost time. All right. In a minute, we're gonna get into some super chats, but right before that, we bringing on my trading mentor, former hedge fund manager, the homie Romulus. Let's go. You know what it is, my man Romulus in here about to give us the market recap. Former hedge fund manager,
Mr. Carter. Hey, now welcome to all of the Victory Unit future dominating people. We're excited to have you guys joining us for another version of our market recap. You know, we started off doing this, I don't know how many months ago, late last year, and we started talking about the future recap because this is a place where you can actually get tomorrow's newspaper today.
Oh man, does that mean you about to bring out the charts, Romulus? Is that what I'm about to hear? Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, right. Come on now.
And as you know, we've been having a great time last several weeks over here. So, and by the way, Brandon, before we get too far into this, I don't know if I ever told you this before, but I used to live in the great state of Florida. I have a lot of affection and fond memories of my time there. It was up the road, a little town called Vero Beach. You're a transplant, relatively new, just under 2 years for yourself, so you may not have heard of that town. About 2 hours up the road from where you are right now. But you're coming into a period of time. You've been dealing with all the heat. You've been struggling from the daylight hours to stay away from the oppressive sun. But now you've got about 6 weeks where you need to be really ready to get the hell out of there when they ring that bell. Okay? Don't play with that. Don't mess with that. Man. I've been through hurricanes, both living through them and evacuating. When they say go, just go.
Yeah, I'm already ready. I always wonder, why do people stay, man, during the hurricanes, man? People bored. Why are you staying? I'm going to be gone. Okay? I'm going to be on the first thing smoking.
You got to drive. You drive 2 hours or you get on a plane. It's easy. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a slight inconvenience, but how inconvenient is your life going to be if you're missing your house, you're missing your car, and you're missing a limb? Okay.
I figured out why they don't do it, because of money, man. It costs money to evacuate. You know, every time there's a hurricane in Florida, you be gone fucking 25% of the year. But luckily, I made so much money with you in the market that I'm able to use that to I just leave, man, come back.
You know, a big part of this, Brandon, really is being able to take care of your family, not just today, tomorrow, but for decades and generations. And you and I both come from financially back in our origins. Like the origin story, we come from nothing. Okay? We've built this up, and now we live a life that we do what we want to, not what we have to. Everybody remember that phrase. You want to put yourself in a position where you do what you want to, not what you have to. The market is a place. It's a place to help you do that. It's a part of your package. It's a part of your entire program, and it's an important part of your entire program because the market, the stock market, is the origin and the center of all things money and financial in the entire world. All right. So last several weeks, Brandon, sometimes I feel like we just come on here and we repeat the same message that we've been saying since that big fat red thing right up there. Okay. That's the S&P 500 we're looking at, right? We always start with the S&P 500.
Always start with the S&P 500.
The number one most important index, the number one most important financial lever in the entire world is what you're looking at right here. The biggest 500 companies in America, which means they're the biggest 500 companies just about in the world, more or less. And that big fat red one right there, that was a bleeding gash to the head. That's what that was. This was not a glancing wound. Okay. This was somewhat of a serious situation, and we caught that. As you know, I know that you made I
made a ton of money off that trade.
Yeah, at least a summer's worth of cash off that bit.
Yeah, man. I did really good.
And continuing to pay us. And I'm continuing to see questions in a lot of different chat rooms around the world. I'm continuing to receive questions from people from all over the world about, well, Romulus, what shouldn't I buy this stock? Shouldn't I buy that stock? Well, let's go over something.
Hey, let's do it.
You heard of a movie theater chain called AMC?
I remember that. Yeah.
All right. So from a few years ago, AMC was the second most talked about stock in the Reddit short squeeze favorite list. Okay? It made all the news. It was the second stock in the meme profile. behind GameStop. That was kind of that's what kicked it off. God, that's almost 3 years ago. You believe that? 2 years ago. All right, so I put this on. I changed it, by the way, Brand. I changed the candle formation from a daily to a weekly.
Weekly candles. Okay.
So now every one of these red sticks and every one of these green sticks represents a week worth of trading, as opposed to what I had it before, which was a day worth of trading.
Yeah.
And I want to show this because I want to show a longer term picture and what's been going on over here. Okay, this is COVID over here. Okay, this is back in the skull from COVID. We know that all stocks went down, different degrees, of course, different amounts, but all stocks went down during that corrective period. AMC was no different. I mean, hey, they locked the world down. You certainly can't go to the movies, right?
Yeah.
All right, now here comes the GameStop, the second biggest short squeeze of that year.
Yeah.
AMC, the stock pops all the way up to almost $45 a share. And one of the phrases that I've never forgotten, something that was taught to me, Brandon, many years ago by one of my mentors, was that parabolic moves tend to retrace 90% of what they did. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a podcast, and the Victory Unit, by the way, I would encourage everybody to go to the Discord Victory Unit, which is a Discord that you and I host, along with our guy Greg, and along with Chris, and a lot of other great support that come and help us every single day. Get in there, everybody, because we're talking a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When we talk sense, that turns into dollars for you.
Come on, man.
Okay. All right. So a parabolic move is something that just goes crazy up in a very short amount of time. It looks kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a big old jump up. Parabolic move kind of happens around hype, FOMO, fear of missing out, or a short squeeze possibility discussed on a Reddit stock form, something like that. It's not going up really on major fundamentals. In other words, the company didn't cure death. Okay.
Right.
They suddenly didn't invent a way to turn lead into gold. No, it was
just hype.
Okay. That is what happens with parabolic moves. And when it is on hype instead of something real, like a real cure to cancer or a major breakthrough or a massive invention of some kind, then typically, not always, but typically, that parabolic move will tend to come back down just about almost the entire way.
About 90%, right? Typically,
90%.
right?
Here we are. Look, AMC.
Really pretty close, right? Pretty close.
90% down. Okay. 90% down. So there it is. Good night. I don't know. Stock's probably going bankrupt over the next 6 or 12 months. But I know a lot of people are not going to be able to resist themselves. They're going to want to get into this. They want to tell a story. Oh, I bought AMC at the bottom. Well, let's just say that $2.55 is it might be the bottom of tomorrow or next week or next month. But 6 months from now, the stock is most likely going to be lower if it does put on some kind of a rally, which again is always possible after something gets pummeled to this level. Okay.
Yeah.
I switched to bright yellow because it's a little bit easier to see than purple for now.
Yeah.
We're not abandoning purple, everybody. Don't give up hope on us. All right. So it could rebound back to that area, which would be, call it $4, give or take. And then if it does so, that would be an opportunity for the stock to then start heading back down.
Back south, yeah.
Okay. So you guys kind of saw how I drew that picture. You can learn more about this in detail in our Victory Unit Discord. We hope to see you there bright and early tomorrow morning. That's if you give a shit about growing your financial empire. You'll be there along with me, Brandon, and Greg, and all the other people that are helping you out every single day. All right. So we can come out of the weekly from AMC. I want to show you guys a very particular fun trade that we did here recently. This was Moderna. Moderna also ran up. This was running up years ago, COVID. This wasn't really hype because they did have, along with Pfizer, one of the few solutions at the time, of course. Things have changed in the past 2.5 years. But at the time, they were one of the early vaccine producers, and the governments around the world were calling upon them to bring those vaccines to market very fast. They got paid a ton of money. The stock went up a lot. But even with that, even with reality, even with not so much hype, the stock still comes all the way back down. Okay? It's running up a little bit right now because there's word from the health administrators around the world that there are some variations of COVID that look a little dangerous again, starting to make little spikes here and there. I don't have a comment on that. I don't know. I just, praying along with everybody else. Not negatively impacted or affected, that our loved ones are healthy and doing well. However, this stock has been running And our guy Legatus Greg got our people into this right as it was breaking out above that little shelf right there. You see that right there?
Yeah.
And pop, pop, pop. And that was a nice, quick, fun trade. That's a no mess, no stress kind of trade, as we call it here.
Made a lot of money off that trade. Yeah.
Made a lot of money off that trade in a very small amount of time. Another trade that we just made a lot of money on. Let me change the view here and expand it a bit. We don't need to go into that much detail for this next one. Okay. Another one we made a lot of money on was this one right here. We did a fun combination, Brandon, about this one here.
Yeah.
Because we bought it, then we collected some rent by doing an option trade that we love to do. Then it got sold for us. Then it started going back down. Bought a little more. You see how we did that? It was just sweet as sugar.
Super simple.
Okay?
Yeah.
Sweet as sugar. So I want to show you something, Brandon, that I know that it's going to resonate with you. I'm going to come back to a weekly chart. If what I'm about to say is something that you have never heard of, if what I'm about to say doesn't make sense to you, if this is something that almost sounds like a foreign language, come into our Victory Unit Discord and you'll start to learn. But Brandon, you know this because we have talked about this privately. We've talked about this in public many times. Indicators are nothing more than just a way to get yourself situated, like driving down a highway. And what's nice about driving on at least modern day highways is they tell you, hey, your exit is in 1 mile. So you know to get ready because that's your exit and you're prepared. And in 1 mile, you're going to leave the highway and go about your way. Indicators like these down here, I'm not going to go into detail about what they are, but indicators serve sort of that purpose for us as traders and investors. They are sort of like street signs, like highway signs. Yeah. Hey, your exit is in 1 mile. The major difference, of course, is that on the highway, when you see that sign, your exit is going to be in 1 mile. It's not sort of, but it's going to be. In the stock market, it means your exit could be in a mile, could be in half a mile, could be in a mile and a half. And then right when you're almost there, the exit could disappear. That's the unfortunate part about stock trading, of course, but that's how it goes. But these indicators, they help us understand where we are on the highway. And if perhaps our exit is maybe nearing. That's how and why we use them. This one down here, typical MACD, very popular stock market indicator. A lot of people know what this is. A lot of people on YouTube and the trading chat rooms talk about this. We have the blue line, which moves a little bit faster than the red line. And when it moves above the red line, especially coming from down under the hash line here, that often means that their market could be embarking upon an intermediate term uptrend. Yeah, where it goes up more than goes down for several weeks or months at a time, like here, okay, something like that. And you see that it did trigger a buy, what we call a buy signal, right there, just a few weeks off of the low. Yeah, it did. It was and it never went to a sell signal until yesterday. So from October 31st until yesterday, the weekly MACD has been on a buy signal, and yesterday it triggered a sell. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't mean the stock market is going to go down tomorrow or even next week, but over the next several weeks, possibly months, possibly, the market is going to more likely than not experience some difficult sledding. And nothing new to anyone who's been paying attention to this podcast, because we've been all over this. We've been telling you this. We've been warning you about this. Exactly this. Okay. Now, this is simply for us, for the Centurions in our Victory Unit Legion. This is nothing more than a confirmation for what we already know. Yeah. It's a further confirmation. It's another piece of evidence, if you want to look at it from that perspective, that is telling us, yes, the analysis that was being conducted. And I remember I got back from the 4th of July. You did your podcast. I took that night off. And the following week, so that would have been maybe July 11th, from there on out, we consistently have been talking about pretty much one thing and one thing only: the potential and now the arrival of a down market. And here it has been. And we just showed you a couple of ways that we've been able to profit from this unit for our Centurions and our Legion. And we've been talking with you about this extensively for now, I guess, almost a month and a half.
It looks like the next level of support is kind of like where you had that third purple line.
Yeah, that's it.
Or maybe that
right here.
What is that? The 5. The 50 MA, the 50 day movement.
This is a weekly, so let me go back to daily. Okay.
Oh, it's past. Oh, on the daily, it broke.
So now it's been below the 50-day moving average, and you notice the astute observers.
Yeah.
There are many astute observers that pay attention to this podcast, and we're grateful for you out there. So it breaks above that golden line back there, okay, in late March.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to show you something else in a minute here. And it stayed above it. You notice how it's been hitting it sometimes and then bouncing off of it. And then it hit it over here one too many times, I guess. It just, got hit in the head one too many times. It was like Rocky in Rocky 4. He just was a little punch drunk in there for a bit. All right. So now we're going to look at the NASDAQ, which is where the big technology stocks like to hang out. And you'll notice, let me go to the 100. You notice really that it really hadn't been below the 50 all year. From early January. And
so now it's the first time it's below the 50.
Yeah, now it's been hanging out there for several days. It's getting comfortable below there. Okay. Setting a new paradigm. It's kind of saying, this is my new house for a while. Okay? And if this is the type of house that you don't want it to be in because you're a blind bull and you only know how to make money when the market goes up, and I pity the fool. Another Rocky reference. Rocky 3.
Yeah, Mr. T.
Mr. T.
He used to go to my church.
Oh, what a great guy.
Yeah, man, Chicago. Yeah, man.
I bet he was a great guy, too. I bet, no joke, I bet he was just a really good person, just a good
dude. Good dude. Wore all his jewelry to church and everything. It was dope.
Fun to watch do his work. Really. Anyway, so it's a different game than it was not long ago. You've got to act differently. You've got to treat it differently. You can't just pretend. You cannot just hoping and pretending is not a solution for your investing and trading challenges. So it sounds like we can expect, like you've been saying for a long time, we can expect some downward momentum in the weeks to come. Yeah, over coming weeks and perhaps months. Again, maybe not tomorrow. I don't know. Later this week, here we've got NVIDIA has earnings coming out. NVIDIA, man, they had tomorrow night big yesterday, and then see here. So it's tomorrow night. NVIDIA's got earnings tomorrow night, and all the trading community, both professional and retail alike, they're really praying for another day like back here in May when it came out with earnings, and the stock jumped up 25%. They really want that to happen. There's just too much bullishness going on. I don't know. It may go up, but my extensive experience in the stock market that dates now almost 29 years tells me that when everybody is standing on the same side of the boat, I want to go to a different part of the boat. Doesn't mean I'm going to bet against NVIDIA. I'm not going to short the stock. Okay? But I'm not going to buy it either because if you recall from a month ago, we talked about this a lot too. So don't just buy Tesla right before earnings or Apple or Microsoft or Netflix, because everyone else is buying them. And this is, you feel like you have to, and you've got to. What I did, man, I already had shares in all those companies, just like in my long-term portfolio. And I sold calls against them before, what I'm saying? And I made money when they went down. Yeah. We teach y'all that in the Discord, man. Oh yeah. That's one of our favorite, most trustworthy, low risk ways to approach the stock market. Brandon knows this about me. If I buy a stock, I don't have the ability to start selling covered calls, he can practically see me twitching. It's just like for sure. Right? Because I want to make money and I want upside. It's like a way to make passive income off your stocks, of your stock portfolio. There's no question about it. I call it collecting rent on your equity instead of your real estate. Yeah, and we open for real. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. That's how I buy all my watches off, with stuff that I would premium I collect from my stock portfolio. Yeah, that kind of money, right? And we opened the conversation. We said stock market needs to be a central part of your entire plan. It's not going to be the only thing, but it's a central part. And now you know how. Well, if you don't know, we can teach you how you can get involved. Jump in the Discord. It's free, man. Yeah, get in there, and we talk about this all the time. It's great. So again, careful about buying NVIDIA just because everyone else is, and you don't want to miss out. That's silly. There's always trades. It doesn't have to have you with it. And then the big news is not even NVIDIA this week, Brand. The big news is the central bank governor conference going on over in Wyoming. They call it the Jackson Hole. It's an annual symposium. It's Chief Fed Clown Powell, and he gathers all his clown apostles around him. and they all worship at the Fed clown altar. And they try to convince the rest of the world that they know what they're doing. We know better. However, we'll be profiting off of their mistakes because they always make them. And I'm looking forward to them making another mistake later this week.
For sure. Well, thank you, Romulus. I really appreciate that insight today, man. If y'all want to know if all this was confusing to you guys, you didn't understand it, or you want to learn more about how to make money on the stock market, man, Romulus, Greg, and I, we're all in the Discord. It's free. Jump in there, man. We'll set you straight. Thank you so much, Romulus.
We want to. So, hey, Brandon, I'll see you soon, buddy. Thanks.
All right, for sure. Take it easy. All right. There's been a lot of super chats. If you got more, drop them. Remember, all your super chats go towards research and development for Thot repellent. We got to bring this to market, man, because we're making too many ballers here at the Victory Unit, and y'all going to need some help, man. All these hoes going to be around. You're going to have to, it's either that or you're going to have to start walking around with a baton, whacking hoes off of you when they try to run you down on the street. So your fellow ballers need your support. We got any super chats?
We do. We have Ali. King Keto, long-time supporter.
All right.
Your content has literally changed my life, G. Currently working Uber 60 to 70 hours per week. Saved up and bought an EPQ.
Okay.
Now trying to break into high-ticket sales. Can I apply for your team as setter?
Hey, shout out to you, Ali. You know what I'm saying? I like your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? I like you going hard. Shout out to you. We're not actually hiring right now, but you could we got to streamline that system to apply. We usually apply, honestly, we get most of our sales team and our setters, they're actually like students, former students. And the reason I like that is because my students, I teach my sales strategies, right? So it's easier to train them because they kind of already know how to do it. We just changing the application. And yeah, that's usually how we get it. And it's just easier than going on Indeed or something like that. But we're not really hiring right now, but stay tuned. That can change. That can change at some point. Yeah, but congratulations to you, man. Stay tuned. We're gonna have something for you. We're thinking about coming up. Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you want to do this. I've been thinking about putting together like some sales training thing just on learning sales, like the way I teach my students and the way I teach my my sales team. Think about putting it together. If y'all be interested, let me know in the chat. Maybe just do a quick vote. But anyway, let's go back to the next super chat.
We have KMC Legacy. How many hours did you sleep when you worked 4 jobs, bro? And when will you be writing your own book, G?
I have a few books on Amazon now that you can check out at your discretion. But you got to remember, man, this is how much did I slept? I probably slept, I don't know, 6-7 hours a night. Because you got to, like most of you guys, you get time. The way you use your calendar is just kind of fucked up, right? You can all do this right now. There are 168 hours in every week, right? And the only four things a man has to do is you got to work, boom, right? You got to sleep, right? You got to work out. If you're a real man, you got to work out, and you got to spend time with your family. Right? Those are the only 4 things a man has to do. Right? Everything else is optional. Now, here's the thing. Every time I say that, some fucking nerd types, oh, what about shitting and fucking showering? I'm like, listen, if you're spending like 40-some hours, okay, 2 things. 1, fuck you. 2, if you're spending like a significant amount of time in the fucking bathroom, 1, remember I started this off as men, right? Like your girl's supposed to spend all the time in the bathroom, not you, bro. All right, get out the bathroom, man. Fuck you doing in there? Shouldn't take that long, man. I'm talking about the big things. Obviously, you got to shower. Obviously, you got to take a shit. Obviously, you got to eat food. You shouldn't spend a whole lot of time on that, dumbass. This shit is not recreation, right? It's shit you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be efficient, man. Catch up. I digress. Right. So you should just think, man, you can all do this right now. Add up how many hours a week do you sleep? Do you work? right? Let's say you're going super hard. Let's just say you're going super fucking hard. You a real G. You putting in 80 hours of work. Boom. A week, right? Let's say you're sleeping 8 hours a night. Let's say you're sleeping 8 hours a night, right? 8 times 7 is what? 52? 52? Is it? I think so.
8 times 7?
Yeah. 56, my fault. 56, boom. You work out 1 hour a day. Even if you work out, you motherfuckers ain't working out 7 days a week, but let's say you are. 7, boom. Spend time with your family. I don't know how much time you got to spend with these motherfuckers, man. Like, listen, some of you going, what if I have like 18 kids? I didn't tell you to fuck all them hoes, man. Don't blame me because you like didn't pull out, didn't use a condom. That's just your fault, man. Don't yell at me. Don't fucking cry in the comments because you fucked all them hoes and fucking didn't pull out. That's your fault. All right. But I don't know. How many hours a week does this motherfucker need to spend with his family? I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's call it fucking. I mean, people say, man, I was spending so much time with my kids. These kids got shit to do, bro. They got shit to do. Kids got to sleep like 9-10 hours a night. You know what I'm saying? Up until like high school. And then they go to school for fucking mad long. And then they do shit after school. And then they got fucking sports. They got to study. They got friends. Like kids got shit to do, man. Kids don't want to fuck with your dumb ass for 40 hours a week. They don't even want that. Loser. I don't know. How many times you got to spend with your fucking ugly ass kids? Let's call it. Let's call it fucking 20. I don't know, man. Making shit up. All right. What we got left? All right. Got my big ass calculator. All right. So, boom. Hey, man, even if you did all that, and the only things you got to do, that's only fucking 163. You know what I'm saying? You still got mad hours left. And you didn't really sacrifice. You spent way too much time with your family. You spent way too much time with your family, right? You worked out every day. You got 8 hours of sleep every night, and you worked 80 hours a week, man. Like, what else do you motherfuckers want to do aside from listen, I don't know about y'all. The only thing I really want to do is spend time with my friends and family and get money. I don't really want to do nothing else. I just want to spend time with my friends and family and make money. I don't really want to do anything else. Like these other things, like these two are just fucking shit. I got it. Like it's just I have to work out so I don't look like you, and I have to sleep so I can fucking live life, stay alive and shit. But those I just have to do, right? You know, like all I really want to do is spend time with my family, my friends, family, and work. That's all I want to do, right? It looks like you live a pretty good life if you do that. And that's way too much fucking time, bro. that was me being super generous. You motherfuckers ain't spending much time with your kids. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to spend that much time with you, especially if you got teenagers. They fucking hate you. I say all that to say, if you use your calendar and you fucking don't waste time, you'll be able to sleep more. The problem is what's not here. What's not here? Think about what's not here. Fucking video games. I have dyslexia. Don't make fun. I have dyslexia. Video games. Fucking hoes. The club. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking getting high. You know what I'm saying? Like all the bullshit is not there, right? The important shit. What's more? Listen, I don't know about y'all. People say, man, I don't want to work that hard or I want to live life. I don't want to do nothing but spend time with my friends and family and make money. That's all I really want to do. I don't want to do nothing else. Like all this other shit. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it within itself, but it's like if you got to make sacrifices if you want to really ball out here. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get there. And I'd rather sacrifice video games, the hoes, fucking weed, liquor, you know, the bullshit. The shit that doesn't take you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? All right. What else we got?
We have K-Nux. Back to mixing engineer question. Want to do online coaching for those who want to become semi-pro. What's the best way to start? I can't get clients from IG or YouTube.
Why can't you?
Yes, outwitting the devil was fire.
Outwitting the devil's fire. Well, why you say you can't get clients from YouTube or IG? Like, why do you say that? Like, I don't know that's true. Like, I don't know what that's true. If like, no, I'm gonna tell you it's not true. I don't know why you say that, right? Unless you're banned or something, or unless you're banned from IG and YouTube, but obviously not banned from YouTube because we're on YouTube now. So maybe IG, but you know, it's
I mean, he'll probably drop why since he's listening.
Why? You know why?
He's probably.
Oh, he probably maybe. I need some more information. Maybe if you come back with some more info, you know what I'm saying? Because that sound like a self-limiting belief, brother. What else we got?
We have G. King Keto, any advice on bringing up energy levels? Always feel tired. Even if I didn't do anything tiring.
Shout Glock Kizzy. Classic Glock Kizzy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you sleepy, man. You can't be. My fault. Oh, he said that. He meant to say he can't. All right, we're going to come back to that, brother. Glock Clizzy. Have you tried Adderall? No. Okay, few things. All right, so we're gonna do the hierarchy of fucking sleep, the hierarchy of energy, the energy hierarchy. It's gonna help you out, Glock Clizzy. It's gonna help you out. One, fucking sleep, bro. Sleep. Maybe you just need more sleep, man. Like sometimes you motherfuckers don't need more energy. You just need more sleep. Like I take my sleep super seriously. I will be asleep as soon as possible when this is over. You know what I'm saying? I track my fucking sleep with the Oura Ring, but not only the amount of sleep, the quality of sleep, right? How well I'm sleeping. And I got really good at sleeping with the data. I mean, I fucking sleep really good. For example, the ring tells me how long it takes me to go to sleep. It's like latency. And I got it down. I can fall asleep within 5 minutes. I swear to God, I just got really good at sleeping. Right. So what you're going to do, you're going to sleep more. You need fucking at least 7 hours, but you might need more, right? 7 to 8 hours. I'm pretty good with 7, but that's because I track the quality of my sleep. So we're going to talk about some of the things I do, but I'm able to get a lot of REM sleep and a lot of deep sleep when I'm sleeping, right? So it's not the light sleep is bullshit. You don't even need it, right? I get the REM sleep and the light sleep, but it's because I've optimized my sleepness. And one thing I do is, come on. So I'll make the room fucking ice cold. Make the room ice cold. What's cooler than cool? Ice cold. And I make it as cool as cold as possible. And I also got this thing. Called the chili pad. Yeah, the chili pad. And what it is, maybe I'll bring it up and show it to you. Hold on, let me bring it up what it is, because they're not going to understand. Do they got it on Amazon? They might not have it on Amazon no more. They might have took this shit off of Amazon. Yeah, I was just so this thing is like this contraption, right? Is this Oh, they do have it on Amazon. No, they don't. Amazon just had an ad for it on Google, but then didn't have it. The fuck? All right, cool. All right, so check this shit out. What it is it's this contraption, right? It hangs off the side of your bed, and then this is a mattress cover, right? It goes on top of your mattress, and what you do is you pour water into this shit. It fucking chills the water through these tubes, pumps it through the mattress pad, and it's like you're fucking. You know what? Let me tell you what it feels like. You know when you switch the pillow over and it's the cool side of the pillow? Imagine that's your whole body, but it's all night. but it's all night, right? That's what you need, man. And then it's like, it's really cool because, you know, my girl, she don't like it as cold as me, right? You know what I'm saying? So this be like switched, right? So she could just have her shit regular. I got my shit ice cold. You know what I'm saying? I got my shit ice cold, man. I love it. I love it. So I just noticed I had the data to show that I get better REM sleep. I fall asleep quicker and I stay asleep longer. So make it cold. That shit is like $700 or something. So maybe you ain't got the bread for that, but at least make the room cold. Yeah, get your fucking sleep together, bro. All right. And then the next thing, once you got your sleep together, then we're gonna go with hold up. I want to get I'm gonna show you the caffeine that I like to take. I'll show you the ones that I get. I really like, where is it? How come it's not showing up on Amazon? All right, whatever, fuck it. Anyway, I'll just write it. Caffeine. I really like caffeine, bro. I really like caffeine. And, you know, you got to adjust your tolerance, but I'll take, you know, between 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day. Every time I say that, some fucking nerd says, "Oh, that much caffeine to kill you." Listen, bro, I'm still alive. I've been doing this shit for man long. I'm still alive. You know what I'm saying? And just so it would be clear, lethal dose of caffeine. What is the lethal dose of caffeine? Okay, so basically it says here it would take about, on Healthline, so you can show it. I'm not gonna click on this shit. It takes about 10 grams of caffeine to fucking kill you, right? You know what I'm saying? This is 10 grams, right? So I'm taking fucking 1 gram a day. I still got 9 grams before it's fucking dangerous. I still got 9 grams before it's dangerous. To put this in perspective, a good pre-workout will have, a good one will have about 300 milligrams of caffeine. You know, to put that in perspective, what that is, take 3 of those a day, man. Go super hard. That'll help you. And yeah, so you can take it in, you can just get caffeine pills. Just type caffeine pills on Amazon. Pre-workout. Fucking coffee. I have an espresso machine here. So what I do is I'll drink the protein shake, then I'll make it like put like 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 shots of espresso in that motherfucking, man. I'm ready to do anything, man. I'm ready to do anything. All right. Next step for the more energy is you should get some blood work. Right? You might have a fucking health problem, right? Honestly, there might be something fucking wrong with you. I don't know that to be the case. You might just need more sleep. But if you do all this shit and you're still tired, then it's like, okay, now I need to you need to see what's going on with your body, right? Get your blood work. And, you know, for me, there was one point in my life when I turned like 38. And I was doing everything right, and I went and got blood work. The only thing came back was my testosterone was low. So, you know what I'm saying? You might want to check your testosterone levels. See, if you're not almost 40 like I was, if you're a young man, then you might want to do things to boost your testosterone, like stop being fat, right? When your body fat goes above 15%, your testosterone levels will naturally drop, right? And your cortisol levels will rise, which means you'll be like more stressed out and fucking less manly. But when you start losing fat, your testosterone levels start to rise, and that really plays a huge role in your energy. So get some blood work, check your testosterone, and if you need TRT though, then get it. You know what I'm saying? But this is like, you know what I'm saying? Testosterone starts to drop naturally at age 30. right? For most men. So I'm gonna just put it late 30s. That's the only way I would really consider. I mean, if your doctor says you need it before that, like fucking do what your doctor says. But get some blood work done, man. You might be fucked up if you do all this. And then I don't know if I want to say it. But listen, you might there are things you can do. You could take a pharmaceutical intervention. I don't want to talk about it here on YouTube, but listen, hey man, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm not telling you what not to do either. Right? If you need to really turn it up, if you've done all this other shit and it doesn't work, you need to really turn it up. The thing about some of these pharmaceutical interventions, which I won't mention here on YouTube, but you know, a lot of they're popular in colleges for studying and stuff. They're not illegal if you get them with a prescription, but they will get you kicked off of your fucking pro basketball team or some shit, right? Like you can't take it. The thing about this is the cons are they are addictive. And you're going to go through withdrawals if you ever come off of them, right? You're going to go through withdrawal. And that's the biggest thing. So there was a point in my life where I had to go super hard to get myself out of poverty. And I legally, I went to a doctor and said, hey, man, give me that shit, nerd. I know where you fucking live. And he wrote me a prescription. and I've subscribed it. But I knew that, all right, when I come off of this, I might go through a depression. And that's exactly what happened. I made a fucking ton of money and I was like, all right, I want to stop taking this shit. And I knew what happened was that I was going to be like, I was to have low energy and depression for 2 to 4 weeks. And it was bad. I mean, it was bad. But I made a lot of money before that. And I prepared for it. I knew that when I got off of it, that I was going to want to die for like a few weeks. But I was mentally strong enough to know, hey, man, the world's not really ending. I'm just going on withdrawal from these fucking drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I imagine it's like, you know, when a girl's on her period, you know, they think the world is fucking ending, they crying all the time. That's how I felt for like a month. But then I was back to normal, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the order. First is you might be cool, just get more sleep, man. All right, what's the next super chat?
We're back to K-Nux. He said he can get clients from IG and YouTube.
That mistake called him $10. Shout out to him. All right, then do that. Listen, you want to get clients for your shit, you know what I'm saying? Like this is all right. I mean, I'm gonna give you the simplest path. I'm gonna give you the simplest path. Boom. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got your social media. Boom. All right. And what you're gonna do is, man, you're gonna post content. Right? You're gonna post content that your target market is gonna be interested in, right? And then what you're gonna do is, well, how do you say you want to? Can you pull it up one more time? Okay. So we want to be semi-pro. All right. If the people want to be semi-pro, then I would do, if you're good, I would have like a coaching offer. I would like coach them, right? And then you charge them monthly to coach them, either one-on-one in a group setting, right? Right. You are either one-on-one or in a group session, right? Boom. You charge because they want to be pros. You're going to help them make money. You're going to help them build a career. You can charge a little bit more for that than somebody who just wants to do it as a hobby. I would charge, boom, $300 a month. $300 a month. Sorry. Minimum $300 a month, and you're gonna work with them. You know what? Do one-on-one at first. Coaching them, right? And you're gonna come up with some coaching program for them. I don't know how to fucking teach what you're teaching, but you figure that part out, right? You're gonna charge them $300 a month and coach them one-on-one, because what you need is testimonials right? And then once you get a good amount of testimonials and you actually help these people, like really help them get good at that shit, help them get jobs and shit, and like really help them get jobs, like go all out for these first few people. Get like 5 to 10, right? 5 to 10 people. Boom. And you get 10 people, you're making $3,000 a month off this shit. I'll talk about how to do it in a minute, but I mean, cap it at 10 so you can really, 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 really help these people, right? And then what you're going to do is, when I say really help them get really good and help them get jobs. Do whatever you got to do to help them get jobs. Fucking call people directly. It doesn't matter what the fuck you got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do, man. Let somebody, I don't know, just get them some jobs. Use them as have them make testimonials for you. Boom. Then you use those testimonials, and they got to be real, right? Use those testimonials as advertising later, right? But this is going to be your first step, right? And how you're going to get those people is you're going to use social media. You're going to post content on Instagram. What you're going to do is it's going to be hard for me to give you my whole DM script right here. You're going to talk to them in a DM, and then you're going to jump on and then ask them what their problems are, ask them what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, and then to say you could help them, right? And I be like, how we usually do it is like, they're going to ask how much it costs. We're like, well, first I need to know a little bit more about what you if I can need to help you or not. And that's true, right? Because you don't want to be fucking getting retards and shit, right? You don't want to waste your time with people you can't help. Even if they pay you, even if they can pay you, if you can't help them, it won't help you, right? Because remember, you need the testimony. You need these people to succeed. So only hire people get on people that you can really help. And you're going to sell them on Zoom and jump on Zoom with them. Boom. If you know sales, right? Then sell them on Zoom. That's easy sell. If you're going to really help them, right? And then, yeah, to be clear, you may have to talk to a few hundred people to get these 10 clients. So go all out, right? Another thing you can do is you can go on, find Facebook groups, right? You can do this right now. You have a small following. Anyway, go on Facebook groups that your target market is interested in, right? Go on those Facebook groups, right? And start posting content. Don't try to sell in there. Just start posting content. Make videos or post articles, write up something about how to get jobs as audio engineers. Just giving advice. Just give as much value as you can in those Facebook groups. This is actually the quickest way, right? In those Facebook groups, boom. And then when people comment, anybody who comments or something, then you start DMing them. Send them a friend request, DM them, and do the same thing. Get them on Zoom, right? We call this group hacking, right? So I had one client, one of my this dude named Maddie Coughlin, man. She was a online trainer. She barely knew how to use Instagram, and she didn't have no following, and all she did was group hacking, right? Her shit was she trained moms on how to get in shape, but she was a mom who got in shape. So she went into mom groups or groups that moms was into, talking about her fitness journey and just giving advice on fitness and how it helps you become a better mom. And people will comment, "You go, girl. Oh yeah," all this shit. And then she would fucking go on. She would friend request them after we taught her this shit. We told her, and she friend request them, then send them a message. "Hey, thanks for commenting on my shit." You know what I'm saying? Are you working on your fitness journey or whatever the fuck? We have whole scripts for our students for this shit. And she got to the point she was making $20K a month off this, right? You know what I mean? With this same pricing point. I mean, it took like a year and a half to get to that point, but that's all she did was group hacking. She didn't even fucking post on her Instagram much, right? And we've got a lot of students who do that. This is probably the quickest way, actually, for you. All right? Glad I could help. Who else got a question? Hey, yo, Blackjack Mastery, you can do the same shit, my G. You know what I'm saying?
We have extra guac.
Yeah, what up,
Your
extra
thoughts
guac?
about caffeine? in the late afternoon or evenings, would it do more harm than good?
I wouldn't do it in the late afternoon if you plan on sleeping later. Unless you're me. I took some caffeine right before this, and I can take pre-workout, a line of coke, and that shit they put in the shorty's chest in Pulp Fiction. I can take all that shit at once and go right back to sleep if I wanted to. I'm really good at sleeping, but you know, assess your tolerance first. What else we got?
We have Money Moves. Yo, BBC. How would you recommend marketing a psychotherapy practice? Where should I start? Do you recommend any marketing companies?
A psychotherapy practice, huh? I guess he's like zapping people and shit. That's the shit they use when they like trying to like zap gay people to make them straight. Is that shit? That's that shit Mike Pence used to do. Read up on that. Mike Pence used to do that shit. And he was doing that shit in Detroit, I think. Weirdo. I'm just playing. I know it ain't that shit. You got a real business and you got a psychotherapy practice. If I was you, man, I would learn Facebook ads or hire somebody to do Facebook ads for you. But even if you hire somebody, here's the thing about it, man. If you don't know how to do it, then there's a lot of bad Facebook managers at it. Like there's more bad ones than good ones. And you need to be able to assess the good from the bad. So you gotta kind of like run it first. So if I was you, I would learn Facebook ads, even if it's just on YouTube or get a course or something. And I would start there, especially if it's local. The beauty of local Facebook ads or local Google ads is, man, when I say Facebook, I mean Instagram too, because Meta owns both companies, right? And Google, when I say Google, I mean YouTube too. If you can just do local targeting, right? And that's how Nima got this job. He was doing local Facebook ads, and I saw it on Instagram, and he was looking for people who needed video editors in Miami, right? And I seen the shit, and I was like, "Yo, this dude, he like displayed his skill level he like made something blow up, or it was like a coffee bean or some shit, man. It looked that shit was fire." And I DM'd him right away. I was like, nah, I want to hire you, man. Now he making the big bucks, right? It was a local ad, I'm assuming, right, Nima?
Yeah, it was like right 15-second ad, had the like just the intro, the body, and the call to action in 15 seconds. And
you what you did a radius or did you do it by zip code?
That specific one was Florida, asking for brands that want to grow their social media.
You did all of Florida?
Yeah.
Holy shit. See, I wouldn't have did that if I was you. I would have did like a fucking 10-mile radius of your home.
Oh, there were cities in Florida,
not
Florida. The whole state.
Okay,
like
that's
Orlando,
good. Thank God.
Yeah.
So you were willing to go all the way to Orlando?
Yeah.
Shit, he wasn't playing. You could just do your city. You could just do your zip code. I told the story before. I had a homeboy in Toronto. He made like a fucking video of him just doing cool shit, right? Like hopping out private planes, buying shit. It's just like a sizzle reel. And he ran that as a local ad, 1 mile radius of his home, to women, just to women, ages 18 to 25. And he spent a few grand on it. So like every chick within a mile of his crib saw his video all the time. It was no call to action, nothing. He just wanted to see him. Then he went on Tinder and did the same mile radius, the same women age 18 to 25. So when they see him, like, oh, I think I've seen you before. Oh yeah, you're that guy from Instagram. Like, oh, he like made himself a fucking literal local celebrity for a few G's, man. And he had sex with those women too, man. So it was a profitable strategy. But local ads work, is what I'm trying to say. Local ads really work. You could do that yourself, Money Moves.
Ali.
What's up?
No doubt. Thank you for the feedback, big bro. Best Mindset podcast on the tube.
A lot of truth in that statement.
Is there a way to get in touch with influencers to land job? Been sending cold DMs like a motherfucker, and I'm running out of options.
Is this the sales guy? This the guy with he wants a job with influencers doing sales?
I think he had the first question.
Yeah, I know the homie Dan Locke told everybody that you can just get influencers and work for them, but it's like, It's getting the job, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, he bought the NEPQ. Yeah, man, that shit is. If I was you, I would just go. I would go to like a regular company, man, or just sell solar or some shit, right? Like solar companies are all like, don't go to the influencers. Just go get like a regular sales job. I'm telling you, don't do that shit. Dan Locke was saying. I'm just not trying to shit on my man. It's just harder. Like these solar companies, they're looking for people all the time. There's a bunch of fucking companies always need salespeople. Always need salespeople. That's one thing. If you get good at sales, you'll never have to worry about money, man, because there's always somebody who can hire you. Like if I ever went broke, shit can't happen. But if it ever happened, like shit hit the fan, I could just hit up the homies. And worst come to worst, I'd hit up the homies. Yo, let me sell some shit for you. Let me sell this for you. And I know I'll make money, right? Or I'll be right back on my feet. Or fuck the homies. You know what I'm saying? I could just fucking go anywhere because I know my skill set. I know that I'm one of the best in the world. I can say that shit without it's not hyperbole. I know I'm one of the best. Like statistically, I had the statistics to prove it. Like I'm one of the best in the world at that. There's people who's better, but like not way better. Like if this was the dream team, like I might not be like Jordan on the dream team, but I'm definitely like fucking at least Karl Malone or some shit. I'm at least the mailman. You know what I'm saying? I'm at least Karl Malone.
What else we have Andre. Mm-hmm. Hey BBC.
Yeah.
Decided I want to become really good in the IT world. How many hours minimum is realistic in your opinion a week to accomplish this? You guys need periods and question marks and commas.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I have 4 jobs. I got an offer for a promotion.
Nice.
At a side gig. And I model. Do social media also.
You do a lot of shit, bro. You do a lot of shit. If you want to be really good in the IT world, then you shouldn't be only in the IT world, right? To get really good at something, you got to fucking concentrate, fam. You got to concentrate. You're spreading your shit mad thin. You're spreading yourself mad thin. I would, the best way to get good at something fast, like, because you need hours, right? You need 10,000 hours to become one of the best in the world. You need 1,000 hours to be like really good. And you need 100 hours to like not suck. All right. Okay. This guy's not bad. I didn't say you were good. Just not bad. That's 100 hours. 1,000 hours is like, oh shit, this motherfucker's nice. All right. 10,000 hours, you one of the best in the world. 20,000 hours, you one of the best to ever do. And the only way to get that many hours, like y'all seen me do the chart before, right? Let me pull it up. I'm not going to do the whole presentation. I'm just going to pull up the chart super quick because it's almost bedtime. Okay. Oh, fuck. Hit the wrong button, man. Damn. All right. Okay. So yeah, here's the thing, right? So 100 hours just to not suck, right? You're not good, but you're not suck. 1,000 hours, all right, you're good, right? All right, 1,000 hours, you're usually pretty good. 2,000 hours, this motherfucker's really good. 5,000 hours, bitches is throwing bras at you and shit. You know what I'm saying? You dodging pussy. 10,000 hours, you one of the best in the world. 20,000 hours, you fucking a legend, man. They talking about building statues for you, right? All right. But here's the thing. How long does it take for you to get to develop the skill levels, right? Well, if you do an hour a day to get 1,000 hours, that should be the records of anybody. That's going to take over 2.5 years at an hour a day, right? 2 hours a day is going to take fucking a year and some change. 3 hours a day. All right. That's when you start making progress to do in a year. 4 hours a day is going to take 8 months, right? You want to get to that 1,000-hour mark fast because that's when like things really change. It's when you don't have to worry about money if you're this good at something at a high income skill. You will never have to worry about money if you get this good. But look how long it's going to take you if it's just an hour a day, right? So the easiest way to get the skill level is to work in the field. I get a job doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's like, okay, then it puts you at fucking 4 to 8 hours a day. Even a part-time job, you can get good in a year, right? If you get a job in that field. So even if you suck, even if it's entry level, even if it's fucking internship, right? Because how else do you get these hours, right? So you're doing all this other shit that's not helping you accomplish your goal it's not helping you accomplish your goal. And your goal is to be really good at that shit. So you got to like work in the field. You know what I'm saying? Like my editors, they've been working. They've been professional video editors, both of them, for fucking years. How long you been a pro video editor?
6 years.
6 years. How many hours on average you think you put in a day?
That's a lot.
Yeah, like fucking.
I would say there were times that I was editing for like 6 hours a day.
Come on, man. So he's got well over 1,000 hours, right? My other video editor, man, Harry, he's been working for me for like, I don't know, 7 years. And like one time he was the only editor, right? And then he does other editing projects for other people. So all he does is fucking edit all day, every day for like a decade. Right. That's why he got so good. You gotta work in the field to get really good at some shit. Because like to try to pull this shit off on you to try to pull 4 hours a day off part-time is gonna be too difficult. So even if the job doesn't pay well now, if you're trying to get the skill level, then you want to think of it as an investment. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I'll run through these next ones super fast because I get money just played on my phone. That means it's bedtime. What else we got?
We have Judith, just for $2.
Come on, man. Shout out to you.
We have Income Tools, R&D.
Come on, man. Hey, man, we appreciate that, Income Tools.
We have Josh. Hi, Brandon. I just finished the Baller Mindset course, and I have so much value you packed into it. Thank you for everything. P.S. Your stick figures are fire. Yeah,
man. I appreciate it because I did a lot of drawing in there. Shout out to you, man. Listen, you too should get that value. The Baller Mindset course is free. You know what I'm saying? And we put that there for you. The reason it's free is because I'm a machine that runs off praise. You know what I'm saying? And I want to help you make a bunch of money. So you can say, man, Brandon Carter really changed my life. He really helped me. I can't buy that. I can't buy your love. I would if I could, but I can't buy your love, man. I can't buy your admiration. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want you to go through the Baller Mindset course, make a lot of money, improve your life, name your kids King Keto. All right. It's going to be King Keto Jenkins, whatever you name your kids, Yeah, we'll see you again. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll let y'all be.